Try again. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
First of all, we'd have an announcement about the employee gift fund. Going to bring us an update on how things are going. And
I'm not quite awake yet, Chris.
hold it close.
As you said, I'm here to represent the Employee Gift Fund. I sat with our gift fund group last year in December as we were giving out the checks to the employees, and I heard some of the stories, and I heard the appreciation, and I saw the smiles on their faces. They really, really appreciate what we do for them, and we need to show them appreciation in some way. But I have a confession for you. I have not yet given to the gift fund. I was thinking last night whether I should confess that.
There's time.
But I haven't, because every month I think, okay, this is the month, I've got a little extra money. But I made a list of the excuses I was telling myself, and maybe some of them will sound familiar to you. I had a car repair that I wasn't expecting, a computer repair. I had to replace a pair of hearing aids, big expense. I had to replace a lot of my clothes because I gained weight.
Had to do that, absolutely.
And then, of course, there was the month with the income taxes. And as Robin heard me lamenting last night, a big medical bill that I wasn't counting on. There's been almost a doubling of my long-term care insurance. I needed to take 2 trips to funerals, which I wasn't counting on. My auto insurance increased. And there's also some whispers about a threat of reduction in my pension. So that brings us to today. And I also took a couple of trips that were on my bucket list. I'll have to confess that too. And some photography courses. But I will manage to gather the money and make a donation real soon, I promise. And if, like me, you find the donation maybe to be too much, perhaps you can just give what you can afford to give. Just something to say, I appreciate the employees. Of course, if you're just putting it off like me, go ahead and do it. And I hope that you're able to contribute to our fund. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Leslie, do you have an announcement?
I was told Andrea's before me.
No, you're next.
Okay. Morning. Leslie Resident Services. So I wanted to announce our vaccine clinic that we'll be having for our flu, high dose, single shot series, as well as our pneumonia vaccine, all provided by Main Street Pharmacy. And we do have the dates of all Wednesdays for October 5th, 12th, and 19th, all from noon to 4 p.m. right here in the Wellness Center. You can pick up your consent forms and sign up for a time slot at the north and the south medical appointments book table. Turn in your consent forms to the front desk by September 26th, so we can make sure that Main Street Pharmacy verifies your insurance and everything like that. If you're getting a different vaccine that requires a copay, they'll be able to let you know beforehand so you understand your copay if you have it for a vaccine. So again, dates are Wednesday, October 5th, 12th, and 19th from noon to 4 p.m. for our vaccine clinic. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. Well, it's my turn. And just a comment on our August 5th listening session. some of the things that we really cannot address, monthly service fee increases. Well, I wish we had some control over inflation, but I heard the new numbers were out this morning, and it's up again. So, we'll do everything we can to help Grant and Sherry to lower the increases but it's still maintaining the profitability for Healthpeak, our owners. So, October 25th, I believe, will be our monthly service fee meeting. It's gonna be the same time as Tuesday Talk. So, be there so you can ask questions. Contract issues, we had a few submissions about the contract. If you have an issue with the contract, that's between you and Brandt. We don't get involved in negotiations on the contract. And the OIR, the Office of Insurance Regulation, they approve our contracts before Regions Hill can even use them. So they are approved by OIR. Of course, the blanks are left for pricing of apartments and that type of thing. And we don't get involved in the finances either on pricing. And I had a couple of more that aren't on here. Well, there is one on here. Sometimes we get anonymous submissions for issues with the board. We don't know how to respond to anonymous issues because we cannot contact you to respond. We can't ask you for additional information. So please, if you have an issue, and submit it with your name and home address. And just as a reminder, our quarterly meeting is coming up in November. Yes, November is not that far off. After all, it's only 103 days till Christmas. So, get your toys early before the price goes up. So, I mean, we'll deal with submissions at our quarterly meeting if there's any additional ones. And there's one item too that's not up there. I don't think we adequately responded to the question about RNs and LPNs. And I think I need to do a lot more research on that because,
Grant answered it.
well, I said adequately, so
Okay.
everybody understood. I'm not sure I understand it because there's so many statutes. We're a very regulated industry in the senior living. And so I want to make it sure it's straight in my mind, and I'll probably save that response until November. So hopefully I can understand by then. With that, that's all I've got. Brant, your turn.
All right, thanks.
Oh, you got one. You got a clip on?
So, yeah, it's a coupon. Good morning, everybody. All right, Harry Goodbar is up next, and he has come to do sort of a quarterly update. It's been a while since we've had an opportunity to hear about some of the great new initiatives with our marketing and sales team, and he is fresh back from a week in San Antonio where he sharpened the saw and visited the Alamo. You know, those are the two highlights, right?
It was smaller than I thought.
I won the bet. All right, Harry, take it over.
All right, good morning, everyone. A couple of things to highlight and mention. Video, when we use video and we're trying to get people's attention, the statistics are that video is 75% more likely for somebody to remember the message that you're giving them versus asking them to read something. Yeah, I've got a couple other comments, so that's, are you getting ready?
Hold on.
Okay, so
I'm
that's.
having technical difficulties.
Okay, well, while you're working on that, I'll keep talking. Okay. To prove that, Bobby, I saw someplace in here, there she is, Bobby. Bobby recently did a little video that we posted on Facebook, and you'll have to go to Facebook. I won't tell you what it is, because we need everybody to go to Facebook and hit the little like button down at the bottom, which helps with our search. as we go forward. But the video of Bobby was, I don't know, a minute and a half or so long, and it has generated 95% more likes than anything we posted on Facebook in forever. So you'll have to go to Facebook and look at that to see what that is. But so video is pretty powerful. We're using a lot more video in our day-to-day communication. Following up with residents that were here, we'll send them a quick video, thanking them for their time. So just video is just much more powerful than it's ever been. So here's a quick animated video that we're unveiling now on the website, and we have an event this Thursday, and it's the difference between rental communities and life care communities. So that is when we are competing, as many of you know, when you went through your process, one of the options is staying at home. We don't like that option, but one of the options is staying at home. Going to a rental community that doesn't provide all the other levels of care is another option, and then life plan communities like ourselves. So our focus on Thursday in the luncheon, we had a really nice direct mail piece that went out that talked about apples and oranges. So you can see that there's an apple wrapped in the skin of an orange. And then with it will be a handout that we'll give, which again is slices of apples and oranges, really highlighting the differences between rental communities and life plan communities. So we've got about 25 people signed up right now for Thursday, so we're excited about that. And so now that marketing committee folks had stepped in and answered the phones for us, and we didn't miss any phone calls. It was great. You all were there. Should we have had anybody that walked in, which occasionally happens, but for those that helped, we really appreciate it, because that was a huge thing. We're all going out of town, don't want to miss an opportunity, but for you all that stepped in and helped out, we really appreciate that.
Must be something about videos. Last time we were, here we go. Okay, so let's talk about new construction and where we stand. The windows are delayed, and of course that had to happen. Last week we actually saw the rains arrive pretty in heavy format, and so those windows are delayed. Today you're going to see them starting to put the plastic on the windows as a temporary measure. It's critical that we dry that building out before we move to the next phase. The walkway abutment to the south dining room, thank you for bringing that to my attention. It is pretty messy, and so we have taken it back to the architect who is redesigning it. And I think what's going to probably end up happening is the walkway, as the part that is close to the new structure, we will use those parapet wall all the way across there, but when we come to the connecting piece, the bridge, that turns and abuts the south dining room windows, we'll take all that down and figure out how to do a roof. And so, architect completely missed that. It was a terrible design. I had a couple of residents doing panicked phone calls last week as en route to San Antonio. And so we've been able to get a hold of the architect, and you'll see that the work has come to a halt while the architect redesigns that. And it's never going to be pretty, but we can sure do a whole heck of a lot better than what they had proposed. So that's being addressed. Plastic sheeting for the windows, flat roofs. We'll have fans and dehumidifiers in there today. We'll start mopping up the floors, trying to get everything dry, because we want to start the drywalling this week. And you just cannot be hanging sheetrock if you have moisture in your building. So you'll see a lot of effort going forward on that. The rough-in for all the electrical and plumbing has been completed at this point. And so in order to stay on schedule, which is scheduled right now for a November 9th opening. It's critical that we button up this building. Now, there is still one other area that is noticeable for anyone who has been over there. None of the flat roofs are down. And so we're gonna have to figure out how to, this week, take care of those flat roofs on a temporary basis so that we can dry out that building. Here's what you can expect next week. So the flat roofs are scheduled to be finished up next week. So that will conclude that. We have heard from the contractor that all the HVAC and mechanical components are on site, not at Regency, but in their warehouse. And so, as you know, we've had some pretty significant delays with some of that mechanical equipment. But at this point, everything is on site with the exception of the one makeup air unit that is going into the beauty salon and that will bring fresh air, conditioned fresh air into the beauty shop and remove it. So that is still scheduled the 1st of October, and we have a confirmation on it, but it won't be here until the 1st of October. New cable and Wi-Fi connectors are going in right now, and I'll get out in front of this so that you don't have to write me memos. But anyone from the north building come over this morning and notice the cable mess that's running up and across the wall, and it looks.
From the south building that I saw.
Yeah, okay, that's not acceptable. So we've red flagged it. We've put a hold on it. The contractor is. We're bringing it to the contractor's attention that that's just not going to fly.
Oh, good.
And so save yourself. Don't need to write me. I was actually here and caught that, and we'll get that resolved. Next week will be the low voltage installation, and so this is all the low voltage for security cameras and bells and all the audio visual and pull buttons and some of the exit lighting. It's all the low voltage stuff, and so that will all go in next week. And then the windows are now scheduled to arrive. I would tell you that there is great confidence in that, but this is the third time that they've pushed it back. We do know that the windows are done, and so they are no longer with the manufacturer, which means that they are somewhere else. It's just a definition of defining where somewhere else is. And you're all probably following the rail and truckers strike, and that expires Friday, and so their step back and breathe pause expires on Friday. So we're hoping that we will take delivery of that before the unions go out on strike potentially next week. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and see where that goes. Okay. So a fob update. The north building is completely done. All the resident rooms are done, all the utility doors are done, and so that building is finished. And we have started work on the south building. It took a little over 3 weeks to do the north building, and so it's going to take about 3 weeks to do the south building. They are also going to work in a couple of days off, and so they have been working weekends, but they every couple of weeks they take a 4 or 5 day break, and so that is scheduled to happen this next week. So you'll see them here for the next 3 days, and then they're going to take some 3 or 4 days off. But the south building is now underway. It's been a pretty simple installation. There have been relatively few problems. There were some missing parts. You probably know that the latches themselves, the door kicks, came in the wrong size. They were reordered. They have arrived. They are actually on site. They've set up a construction office here in the south building where they can get organized and finish the south building from that location. So we're making progress, and I think the project is going on fairly well here. And then my last slide is Chris asked me to remind you that there is an estate sale Thursday, September 15th, North Building. It's R501. Kitchen items, furniture, clothing, trinkets, and much more. So bring your checkbook or cash. Cash only, okay. That's being out last week. That's all I have for today. So we'll open it up for any questions. And we have a mic. Yes, we do. Perry, you want to work the other mic from this side of the room?
Okay, the south door here to the grand south lobby could use a push button to open the door for those people with walkers and stuff and make it easier.
This door right here?
This door right here, you have to push in to get in.
You can go out.
You used to have a button, like you have to get out.
The fence blocks it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So,
Just for our comfort, that's all.
okay, so just FYI, that is an emergency exit right now, so you should not, I know I do it as well, but you should not be using that exit. The exit and entrance the access point is right over here. I know, so but I have to legally tell you that there are signs out there that says do not use, this is a emergency exit. But yes, once that fence comes down, we should have access back to the push button.
Will that be the push button type, or will that be a fob type?
Push button.
Really? Okay. My main question is, what, all that ugly piping, what is it for?
It's
I know,
yeah.
but for what?
For everything. It's for the phones, cable TV, Wi-Fi, high-speed internet connections, electrical. It's all sorts of power for the new construction.
Well, so it's the new construction, it's coming from the north to the new construction?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was something going to the north, and I wanted to know if it was coming to the south also.
Yeah, great question. So they had to pick up somewhere and carry all this to the new construction. And so they could have done it from the south, or they could have done it from the north. Little easier to do it from the north. It was a little closer, and so that's. And you may have seen the big ditch that was there for, yeah. And you know, here's a lesson I guess they learned. Remember back when this project first started, and they kept digging up the gas line, because the gas line, which was supposed to be buried at like 5 feet, was buried at 6 inches. This thing is deep. This is coffin level deep. I mean, it was a really deep hole.
I just wanted to give you an update on our Miss Kitty Murder Mystery birthday dinner. We have never anticipated the kind of outpouring that people had. We filled up the evening performance. We have 90 people coming to that. And then we said, well, let's do a matinee. So now we have 657 coming to that one. So if you'd like to go, we'll still accept your tickets or your money. Very explicitly, you need 2 checks for each person. It's $60, but you divide that up to one $30 check for the scholarship fund, one $30 check for the employee gift fund, and use those names. People are writing employee scholarship fund. Then you put them together and you put them in the box that says scholarship fund. We're gonna take care of the bookkeeping. Don't worry about where it goes. Put it in the scholarship fund and we'll get it. And we hope that you wanna come, because we still have a few seats left, and people who have previewed it said, it's pretty funny.
I have a question.
This question is really for Chris. Is there a railroad meeting tomorrow?
Board meeting tomorrow, yeah.
Just the boys.
Is this on? Brent, I sent you a video.
Where are we?
Behind the pillar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, behind the pillar, okay.
I'll step on. I sent you a video on the flat deck, and you make sure they have a can strip there around the walls where the 90s are. A can strip. I sent you a picture of that. If you don't, we're gonna have problems with leaking.
Okay, I'm sorry, what is a can strip?
Okay, think of a 90 like this. Think of a 90 like this.
Right?
Think of something you put in that 90 and you see the hypotenuse.
Gotcha.
Okay, because that's the way you want the roofing to go up, not go down, but go down between the walls when you have the.
Understood. Thank you, Earl. I learned something this morning.
There's a front porch rumor that the current furniture on our respective front porches is going to be replaced. And it begs the question, is that correct? And secondly, will it be replaced with those brown chairs?
Yes. And so, yes, the white furniture everywhere across campus, and it's left in the north entrance, the south entrance, the marketing entrance, and the skilled nursing center. All of that is being updated and replaced with the new furniture that you see in the breezeway, and your resident design committee has selected the appropriate number of sofas, chairs, swivel rockers, end tables, cocktail tables, and they've done a great job of putting together new furniture patterns for the rest of the building.
Has their design included pillows for the ladies?
All the pillows are here. And we got 72 pillows, something like that. So all the new Sunbrella pillows are here. And Toby and her design team are planning a pillow stuffing party. So I know she's looking for volunteers.
What was the purpose for, eliminating the white wicker with the nice, good-looking pillows in the first place?
Well, the white wicker is 30 years old, and it's just, it's coming apart. It when we power wash it, it looks a little better, but it's just the paint is falling off. It's 30 years old. The wickers is coming unglued. You just have to update. In order to keep Regency Oaks looking fresh, you've got to update and replace 30-year-old equipment, furniture, FF&E.
Well, will these new chairs be brown like the ones in the breezeway?
They used a combination of colors. Is Toby here? Did I see her leave? Okay. They used a combination of colors, and as I recall, it's oyster and slate. And if Toby were here, she could maybe share more. But I think it's going to be pretty. It's a nice combination of colors.
Are there tables going to be put out here in the walkway? There are just chairs out here right now. Are you going to put tables out there too?
No.
Why not?
There are no tables planned.
A lot of people like to play games out there.
Well, your design committee chose not to go with the tables.
Well, why would they not choose not to? That didn't make too much sense.
Well, it's hard to please everybody, right? And so we have a resident design committee appointed by the board who is charged with doing this project. And that design did not include outdoor tables. And so, I know it's very difficult to please every single resident here, but your resident elected design board has been charged with the responsibility of selecting the furniture, and they selected not to go with tables.
I think that needs to be relooked at. I wanted to bring up one other thing too. And you know how important guests are here because they leave, when they leave here, they go home and they talk about where their parents live and they talk to people, you know, they love it. That way, that's the place. And I just wonder if marketing, if you are working with that, you know, especially with the dining, you know, like even the holiday meals and the charges that these people are getting, and you know, are they welcomed here, you know?
Well, my sense on that is I think most guests who come in and see what they, the holiday meal they can get for how affordable the price is, they probably walk home and tell their friends and neighbors, oh my gosh, Regency Oaks is the most reasonably priced restaurant in America. And so that's my sense of what your friends and families are saying, because I think our holiday meal is what, $18? What, how much, 25? 20, 30 something? What, something, it's something. and so anyone who eats out knows that you're not going to be able to touch our price for what we provide. And particularly that's true on our holiday meals, where we have a wine service, a carving station, we have the bread service. We put on pretty spectacular holiday meals. It's a great bargain.
Okay. Do you have any plans, I hope, to improve the sound system at RO?
What do you mean? Can you not hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, you're the best.
Okay.
As far as anyone else, I'm saying that there's always problems, it seems, to communicate with using this system. And now, of course, you're leaving it up to the person to how far they hold it and so
Yeah,
forth.
yeah.
I just wondered if there's a simpler way and successful way to do it.
I don't know. There is a new sound system in the town hall, but it's the exact same sound system we have now. And so my experience with the sound system is it works pretty well. We have a hearing aid loop in the south. We had it in the old town hall. We will have it in the new town hall, so that if you wear a hearing aid, you'll be able to turn to the particular channel that we're broadcasting on and broadcast directly to your device. But if maybe we need to work on the audio that comes across on our computer video feed, but I'm pretty satisfied with our sound system. This is state-of-the-art equipment. It's I think it's maybe 3 years old, and it seems to work really, really well. Maybe I'm missing something.
The biggest problem with the sound is that people don't know how to use a mic.
Exactly.
I mean,
Sure.
it's the residents who are not using the mic properly that you have trouble hearing them.
Yeah.
It's not the system's fault.
Yeah, and that is absolutely true with these stick microphones. Unless you are really, really good at projecting, you've got to put it right up to your mouth in order to make sure that it's broadcast and it gets captured.
Well, sir, the one thing I've noticed, I'm one of the people who can't hear at all.
All right, so no one can hear you because you don't have a mic, so let's get you a mic.
Oh, yeah.
Tom first.
Okay? We're gonna go with Tom Doctor first. He was up, and then we'll come back to you.
Okay, it's
How
very
does this
simple.
work?
Yeah, that's fine, but
Okay.
Tom Doctor first.
I don't like using a mic.
You what?
Can you hear me without the mic?
No?
No,
Can't hear me?
no.
Then I'll use the mic.
Okay.
Okay, my suggestion to you to solve the swimming pool problem, are you aware of the swimming pool?
I'm not aware of the swimming pool
Okay, for the
problem.
last 6 months, you've kept the swimming pool water at 88 degrees. That's very comfortable for everybody. Now, for the last 10 days, it's been 75 degrees, which is like stepping into Lake Superior after accustomed to 88 degrees. And I've got a simple suggestion. The mean temperature in Tampa today is 85 degrees.
So if you turn off the air conditioner and the fans and open the windows and use just the circulatory system on your pool, we're gonna have 85-degree water, which is approaching what we like. And I know it's a very small group of people that use the swimming pool. I'd hate to even guess, I'd say 25.
No, we just need to figure out why it's not at 88 and.
Someone broke the box over the thermostat and they're playing with the thermostat, so he was gonna put a new box over the thermostat.
I don't wanna be argumentative, but why don't you use the simple solution until you figure it out?
And what would be the simple solution?
Open the windows, turn off the air conditioner, and circulate the water.
Yeah, we'll go down and look at the box and, see if we can't get that restored. I don't know if Darwin has done that this morning or not.
But I want you to wear your swimming suit when you do that, and I want you to get in for your
It's too cold for me, I want 90 degrees. But we'll get that taken care of.
My tub is 106.
Good.
That's too hot.
That's too hot. Okay. Okay. 104. Okay.
I'd like to finish my question.
Sure.
My comment, actually. I've noticed that in this room, where there are draperies and carpeting and so forth, the sound is much clearer to me on the system. When I'm in one of the larger rooms, the sound bounces all around. And it's the echoing that kills my hearing.
So in the new town hall, Lou and our resident design committee really paid attention to that. And so instead of a hard deck ceiling everywhere, there are mechanical ceiling inserts. The entire back wall is nothing but acoustical panels designed to reflect sound. There is a little carpet in the area so that will help absorb some of the sound. But they really tried to pay attention to sound and preventing that echoing and bouncing around of sound. So
Good.
I hope you'll notice some improvement.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you.
One observation about the committee system, you always refer to it, like they've talked to you, you talk to them, and that gives you some credibility. But the committee system is an advisory system, which means they don't really have any authority except they can talk to you. They ought to be talking to us. So anytime a committee system has a meeting with substantive decisions, etc., information discussed, they should come and talk to the assembly, the Tuesday group here. And that way we have some feedback with them. And it enhances the committee system. Chairman should be able to stand up and say what their committee did or didn't do. I didn't even know we had a design committee. But they ought to come and talk to us, because everybody in this room are the people who pay for everything these committees decide when it comes to a financial decision. So, even though they're advisory, their status could be enhanced a little bit if they would come and talk to us, because we're the ones that pay for the decisions they make, or don't make.
No. So Chris and I will work on trying to come up with a way to better communicate this, because it continues to be an issue. And Roger, thank you for continuing to bring it up, because if it's not working, we've got to figure out how it can work better. These committees do report to a full committee. The design committee reports up to the building and grounds committee. The budget committee reports up to the finance committee. So we have a lot of these subcommittees that report up to a broader committee, and that broader committee has discussions about what's happening. But I hear what you're saying. I take your point, is the sense is you're not feeling like we're having that report out to a larger number of residents. So Chris and I will make the commitment that we're going to go back and figure out how to include that in either a Tuesday talk agenda or the monthly forum, but how we can do a better job of making sure that your elected resident representatives who are serving on these committees are also sharing the information with you, just as they share it with Chris and I and the other committees.
Going back to the swimming pool, it seems like we have heard about that as the major topic forever here. And so I guess my suggestion is, can we have somebody in charge of the pool area that they check every day and make sure there are no bodies floating around or whatever, and take care, so we can take care of problems.
The pool company's supposed to be on Thursday to look at it too.
No, but this goes throughout the whole place, I think, that people do not have a responsibility for certain areas, and they need to. We need to have, because, this responsibility, and people need to have this job and see to it daily.
And so there is a dedicated pool guy who every single day is required to go and log the temp. He takes the pH balance, he checks the level of chlorination, he documents it. That's required, and we do have a single individual assigned to that responsibility. I don't know what the issue is with the pool, and so I can't address whether is it a repair, or I cannot imagine that it is simply a matter of turning it to the right temperature. It's probably a repair, and so I don't know. So I didn't hear about the pool issue until just 5 minutes ago, but I'll talk to Darwin right after this meeting. We'll make sure it gets addressed. What else? Miss Robin.
I remember not all that long ago, you used to have a system of communication that I thought was great. You said everything gets communicated, I think it was 5 ways. That's not happening anymore. We're lucky if we get it once in writing somewhere. Maybe when you and Chris get together, you can get back to that, because not everybody listens to the same thing. Not everybody comes to Tuesday Talk. Not everybody gets the Oaks. Not everybody, I don't know, they just don't. So we need at least a couple ways.
Yeah, we communicate everything 11 different ways. And we did come up with a list, and it's the whiteboard and the flyer and 732 and Tuesday Talk and forum and the Monday memo and mailbox flyers and inserts and elevator pieces that announce some of the key dates, and it's it is hard to communicate to 450 residents. And Tony Quattromoni gave a great presentation back in March or April of last year, and one of the issues that Tony identified, most of the individuals in this room who participate in the RoRo quarterly meeting and Tuesday Talk and forum, you're pretty well informed. Where we're not reaching individuals, and this is sort of a global statement, but where we struggle to reach residents are those residents who are not active, who are not engaged, who are not participating at the same level that you are. And that continues to be a challenge. Communication has been one of the priority issues here at Regency Oaks for as many years as I can remember. And it's just very, very difficult to reach individuals who are not engaged in the process. So what you're saying is absolutely accurate. I don't know if I have a solution other than we just redouble our efforts and continue to try to reach out and connect with those people who are not engaged.
I have a question. I think that in the past sometime, you mentioned that if we buy the $18 guest meal coupons, that they will be like a forever stamp, that will always work. I'd like to see that in writing somewhere, because I've also heard other people say, Well, I wanna see it in writing. I know he said it, but I wanna see it in writing.
Okay. Yeah, we will put it in the new ancillary price increase brochure that is published in January of 2023. It's like a US postage stamp, it's lifetime.
I have a
Forever.
I have a solution. I think we should have another committee that checks on the committees.
It's from the government.
I just have one comment, Brant, and it seems like the best way of communications here are rumors.
The grapevine is alive and well at Regency Oaks. All right. Thank you very much for coming out today. I appreciate you being here.